Today on the list, take a tour of your favorite TV shows, bust the myths of airline pricing, and why youth sports are good for the brain and body.
It's definitely teaching you how to be selfless and remembering that the team comes before the individual.
Plus,
this looks like it could get messy, and that's the idea.
refreshing summer drinks to make it home.
What I love about it is there's a hint of a kick. It's not all sweet.
But up first, a trailblazing artist's journey to self-love and success. It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy Rhodes.
And I'm Christina Guerrero. Grammy, Emmy, and Tony Award winner Billy Porter is in the midst of his nationwide tour.
The famously energetic performer is using song and dance and more to tell his life story. But it's not just about entertainment.
How Billy Porter is using his platform to influence the world is our featured story at the top of the list.
Be all that you can be.
You may recognize Billy Porter from his performance in the TV series Pose.
And that is how you do a ball.
A role he won an Emmy Award for leading actor, making him the first openly gay black man to do so. Or maybe you've seen him as Lola in Kinky Boots, which won him a Tony Award for Best Actor and a Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album. But now we're seeing a whole new side of Billy in his first ever tour, highlighting his career and new album, The Black Mona Lisa Tour, Volume 1.
For a little context, my dream as a kid was to be the male Whitney Houston. My first R&B soul mainstream music album came out in 1997. The industry was very homophobic. It didn't work out for me so well then. Now, 27 years later, I get to come back into this mainstream music space on my own terms.
We talked to him about how we can live on our own terms. And the first way Billy has done that is using his tour as a celebration of life and love.
It's a celebration of life, love, joy, hope, peace. All of the words that have sort of disappeared from the lexicon recently. We're not talking about that stuff recently. And we need to start talking about that again. You know, and so my hope is to give the world a big bear hug and remind us all that we're better together and that love always wins.
By presenting a retrospective of his life, Billy hopes to encourage us to live in authenticity.
I had a lot of doubt, a lot of it, but I kept showing up and putting one foot in front of the other. I relinquished expectation and began to practice the truth of we are exactly where we're supposed to be at all times in life, even when it's uncomfortable.
And he says sometimes leaning into what's uncomfortable is worth it if you're being who you truly are.
Because I could never have imagined the person you see in front of you having the kind of success that you see me having. I never imagined that my queerness would become my superpower. And the reason why I'm sitting here before you today is because of that authenticity. I never could have imagined that.
So finally, Billy says to live courageously.
To not fit in, to not kowtow, and to be exactly who you are takes courage. It's hard to be what one cannot see. And so what I hope is that when people see me and how it has set me free, that they can do the same.
Living life on our own terms is at the top of the list.
The summer heat is on its way, so it's time to get your cooling off plans in place. And we have just the thing to get you started. Fresh, authentic Latin desserts that'll take down the temps while amping up the taste all season long.
Let's satisfy those sweet cravings with some authentic and cool Latin treats.
This is not like just having a soda pop. This is better than that. That's leveling up from there.
You're going to be amazed to see some of the things that we're going to put together here.
We met up with Gabe Garfield, founder of the Frutilandia franchise, to highlight 3 of their best menu items that'll become your next summertime obsession.
A lot goes into making these drinks. We try to stay away as much as possible from using chemicals. We focus on offering our customers really, truly refreshing flavor that you get from using fresh fruits. That's really what makes Frutilandia different.
First up is their Pina Colada drink.
One of the top drinks here at Frutilandia.
It starts with coconut syrup at the bottom of a cup.
Made out of coconut, vanilla, milk, and sugar.
You can see the texture in there from the coconut. That's nice.
Followed by shaved ice and pineapple syrup, where juice falls to the bottom and pineapple chunks remain on top.
That's a nice chunky there, right
Look
there.
at that. That's looking really good.
On top goes generous scoops of coconut pineapple ice cream.
You know what? Let's go extra.
And for the final garnish, condensed milk.
Give it a little.
Fantastic.
This looks like it could get messy.
And that's the idea. There is no delicious drink that doesn't get messy. And we have a really good example of that here.
This looks great.
And it tastes delicious.
On to our next sweet concoction, the Dulce Churro.
The dulce will be the syrup that we make here in-house.
Short for dulce de leche, which goes to the bottom of a cup, followed by ice that's soaked with more syrup. Then, our churros.
The churros, by the way, I think really make it. They add something. These are all fun to look at.
Vanilla ice cream goes on top, and after a drizzle of caramel, it's ready to enjoy.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, a delicious dulce churro from Frutilandia.
We're wrapping it up with a fan favorite, the mangonada.
Our #1 drink here at Frutilandia.
It begins with mango syrup on a blender.
And all it is just blended mango with a little bit of sugar and water.
Add ice, and while that blends, a cup gets a drizzle of chamoy.
Chamoy is a kind of a sweet, sour type of sauce that's made out of plum.
In goes our blend,
Into the pool.
topped with fresh mango. Then add a Mexican tamarind candy stick in lieu of a straw.
Tamarind is a kind of a tangy, sweet, tart fruit.
And there seems to be like almost like a powdered surface on this.
Yeah, that powder is powdered chili to just give it that little bit of extra kick to it.
For a final garnish, a sprinkle of tajin, a Mexican spice made with peppers, lime, and salt, and more chamoy.
Very attractive drink to have and very refreshing.
What I love about it is there's a hint of a kick. It's not all sweet. This is unique and really refreshing.
We're cooling off this summer
It's my new favorite drink for summer right here.
with a taste of Latin flavor.
Well, not sure if you heard or not, June is Sports America Kids Month. Time to get out and in the fresh air and get moving. Teresa Strasser looks at the benefits of getting off the couch and on the move.
From their bodies to their brains and beyond, the benefits of kids playing sports are numerous.
I feel like sports are good for both the kids that are picking the daisies, that are scoring touchdowns, because at least they're both outside or they're on the court. They're not staring to screens. It's absolutely correct. They get an opportunity to get out, get some exercise. For some of these kids, that 60-minute practice or 45-minute game might be the only exercise they get throughout the week.
Katrina Alfaro, co-founder of Arcadia Sports Central in Phoenix, Arizona, shows us how sports can help kids with their development, not just physically, but emotionally. Let's start with teamwork.
Is it important to start early with team sports? Nowadays it is getting younger and younger, and those kids that are starting at 3 and 4 are going into 5 and 6, like almost as like incredible athletes.
But it's not all about athletics. Team sports can teach life skills.
Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and whatever someone might lack, another person has, and that's how the projects and task at hand gets done.
I see with baseball, like you can fail personally, you can strike out, but then when you go back to the dugout, you got to cheer for the other kids.
It's definitely teaching you how to be selfless and remembering that the team comes before the individual.
Next, sports can help kids find themselves.
I can tell a difference with kids who play team sports, can you?
Yeah, I can. For my oldest kid, he was super shy. He did not play team sports until he was 7, but when he did, it completely brought him out of his shell.
She says that being on a team can also nurture empathy.
I love in flag football when there's a play, even in basketball, say, since we're on a basketball court, and a kid gets knocked down, and you see somebody from the opposing team.
I love
bend
that.
down. Right?
Yeah, I just love seeing that. That's not only a reflection of the child, but how the parent is raising that kid, and I'm sure of how the coach is teaching that team.
Finally, she says being part of a team sport can teach respect.
I've heard people say it's really good for a kid to just be yelled at by some adult.
that's not your parent.
I think that it's easier having a coach that's not your mom or dad to be more respectful too.
And she says other adults can put things into perspective for the kids.
What you hear from your parent, you might just kind of, yeah, whatever, it's my mom or dad. But when you hear that same thing from another person, I feel like you really think about it and you're like, okay, maybe I do need to practice that more, or maybe I do need to do this better.
Sports for the fun, the fitness, and the future.
Still to come on the list, give your camping trip a makeover.
I packed eyelashes, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Plus, take a tour of Broadway's backstage history.
Each guide is equipped with an iPad chock full of rare and one-of-a-kind photos and videos.
And
you're not a lot of fun, are you?
The big Hollywood star who took a roll of the dice on Dungeons and Dragons.
And he was like, you captured Monty Python and everything about British humor like so clearly, and I love it, and I will do the movie.
All that and more ahead on the list.
Hey guys, welcome back. You know, for some, the perfect getaway involves nature at its wildest, hiking through the wilderness, laying under the stars.
I don't know, KG, that sounds buggy. For others, it involves, say, a pampered stay at a luxurious spa.
Yes, but if you want something that offers both nature and nurture, maybe you want to give glamping a try.
Okay, some people are good at the great outdoors. I think I'd be better at glamping.
Let's go in.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Glamping is an elevated, more upscale version of camping. So it has all the amenities already provided for you, like the tent and the bathrooms and all the on-site activities, without really having to worry about planning and packing your gear, pack it in, pack it out. If you like nature and you have an open mind, you can really enjoy it.
To learn more about glamping, we went to the Grand Canyon and met up with Jacqueline Starkey at Under Canvas Grand Canyon. First, you make reservations just like a hotel, but instead of a room, you pick your tent.
We have a few different style tents. Our safari tents are the ones that have the communal bathhouse, but they also have a king-size bed, a wood stove, lanterns, battery packs.
They also have tents with private bathrooms and a viewing window above the bed for stargazing.
I mean, I was so excited to see a shower in a tent. I'm like, the best of both worlds. I can be outdoors and I cannot be stinky.
Once you've picked your tent and made a reservation, what to pack?
I packed eyelashes, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. We really provide all the basic essentials like shampoo, body wash, conditioner.
If you forgot something, most glamping sites have a store on site.
So really what you'll need to bring is good shoes, maybe a wide brim hat, sunblock.
And if you think glamping will be sitting in your luxurious tent all day and night, think again. It's all about making the most out of your experience.
We have a guest experience coordinator on site at all of our locations, so they can help you plan any tours you want to do, like Jeep tours.
These are the two most popular hiking trails going down into the canyon.
Guided hiking, kayaking tours at our water locations, and then almost all of our locations do live music or yoga on a very regular, if not daily basis.
And don't think we forgot about the most important part of glamping, the food.
Definitely recommend the brisket tonight.
Great, I'm gonna do the brisket. We have a restaurant on site. Almost all of our locations have some type of food or like coffee on site.
Be sure to check the accommodations at your glamp site ahead of time.
And even though we're glamping, we're still gonna keep the tradition of making s'mores by the fire. Best part of camping.
We're heading to the great outdoors, Glamping Edition.
I love that story. And if you want to continue your adventure and check out some new attractions, why not add some showbiz into the mix? Teresa Strasser has some truly entertaining tours to check out across America. Hey, Teresa.
Thank you. From a legendary home of a king to musicals on Broadway, here are a few tours that we think you'll enjoy. Coming in at number 1, Warner Brothers Studio Tour, Hollywood in California.
Sure, watching your favorite movies and TV shows is fun, but seeing where they're made? More fun!
Here, visitors will go behind the camera and learn the process of creating movies and shows.
Swish and flick through the worlds of Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts.
And tour guides will take TV fans to a few spots that might look familiar.
The houses behind me were used in TV shows like Pretty Little Liars, Gilmore Girls, Friends, and Growing Pains.
And depending on the tour package visitors select, they'll enjoy different experiences like...
Inside of this place is really where you bring your sets to life. If we built a set and you need to make it real, this is where you would go to do that.
For more info, visit WBStudiotour.com. At number 2, in Memphis, Tennessee, the home of Elvis Presley. That's Graceland.
Are you and your family ready to rock and roll? Then get ready for the experience of a lifetime with a visit to the home of rock royalty.
Visitors can take a tour of Elvis Presley's iconic mansion and immerse themselves in his legacy.
Elvis's style was always on the cutting edge and is evident in Graceland's trendy 50s, 60s, and 70s decor.
But the tour is just getting revved up. Guests can also check out themed exhibits, including his automobile museum.
Surrounded by over 20 vehicles owned by Elvis, including his legendary 1955 pink Cadillac.
For more info, visit Graceland.com. And last on our best tours list is Broadway Up Close in New York.
When I moved back to New York City, I realized that we had 40 theaters right here in New York City and I didn't know anything about them. And so from that one realization, Broadway Up Close Walking Tours was started.
This tour experience gives visitors a behind-the-scenes look at the legendary district where plays and musicals come to life.
You'll hear tales of ghosts, superstitions, theatrical disasters, and legends.
They offer 6 different tour packages, each giving an inside perspective on the famous theaters. For more info, visit BroadwayUpClose.com. And those were a few tours taking visitors backstage across America. Lots more to come on the list. Stay right here.
Friends, welcome back. On today's watch list, Dungeons & Dragons is pushing the big 5-0, and now it's bringing the fun in a new way with a streamable movie. Zach Perry sat down with the producer of Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves to learn more.
We're thieves, but we help the wrong person steal the wrong thing and unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known.
From the world of fantasy and magic, the classic tabletop role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons has made its way to the big screen.
Fantastic. Where's the shovel?
We caught up with Jeremy Latcham, producer for Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, to learn his thoughts on why D&D still has such a hold on kids and adults alike.
The movie really captures the vibe and tone of a bygone era of Hollywood. It feels like things felt in the 80s and early 90s when we were just like having fun.
Perlamon Tergatis. Maybe I'm not saying it right.
Up first, we're learning how D&D went from a game to the big screen.
What is Dungeons & Dragons, and what was it like bringing that game to the life of cinema?
People sit around a table and they pretend to be this character they've created, and they roll dice, and the turn of the dice determines whether their character is successful at a given task or not. One of your players is a dungeon master who's designed this grand adventure to take you on.
You're not a lot of fun, are you?
But even though you may not know much about D&D or even played the game, you can still enjoy the movie.
All you need to know is that there's like this rich fantasy world that people have been living in and playing with for 50 years and had a great time exploring.
Sounds lovely. Quite the opposite. I know, I was being ironic.
Jeremy feels like fans of the game may have pretty high expectations for the movie. So
we have to make a movie that is true to the game, that captures the spirit of what it's like to play the game.
Oh, we got him now! You know what? I'm thinking they're probably sharper stairs somewhere else.
But he says it's relatable to all ages.
The movie is ultimately a story of redemption and a story of a guy trying to become a better person and his team of friends that he puts together to go on this journey with him.
We could die. There's worse things than dying.
And just like the game, we'll wrap up with how the movie is fun for everyone.
Figure it out over a drink?
Probably best.
We sent the script to Hugh Grant, and he was like, "You've captured Monty Python and everything about British humor like so clearly, and I love it, and I will do the movie."
I don't want to see you die, which is why I'm going to leave the room.
I think that the humor just kind of shines the whole way through.
What is it exactly that you bring to this?
I'm a planner. I make plans.
You've already made the plan, so...
If the existing plan fails, I make a new plan.
So you make plans that fail?
No.
He also plays the lute.
Not relevant.
We're rolling the dice of nostalgia and learning all things D&D.
What is that again? It's an owlbear.
On the watch list. We'll be right back.
Friends, welcome back. It's time for what's last on our list. All right, any big vacation plans for the summer, Jimmy?
You know, maybe book a flight or two out, go see the kids?
Yes, well then allow me to be of assistance. actually not me, it's the Washington Post. Flight booking myths debunked.
Okay, and I've definitely seen this one before where they say 2 seats left. And apparently that's a lie.
Yeah, okay, I've definitely panicked and purchased when I've seen this, but more than likely they mean 2 seats left at this price.
Aha.
And what if I need to buy 3 seats? Well, they recommend buy the 2 seats at the lower price, then go back and buy the 3rd seat separately.
Okay, and I've definitely heard this one before too. It's cheaper to buy on weekdays, and specifically I've heard Tuesday is the best time to buy.
Yes, that's true. But apparently the savings are pennies. They cite one example. Maybe you get a flight for $196 on a weekday. That flight might just be $200 on the weekend. So $4 savings, not even enough to buy you a drink on your flight.
I don't know, $4 is $4. I'll take the savings.
Yeah.
And here's another one. Some people think it costs more to fly as a couple. True or false?
Well, I've definitely felt like this is true.
Okay, according to this article, just not true either. They break it down that there are price buckets for seats, and some seats just cost more than others. So what might be happening is that there's only one seat left in the cheaper bucket, so the second one is just a little more expensive.
Okay, so what the Washington Post is saying is all the tricks that we've heard about getting a cheaper flight is a waste of time.
Apparently, and you know what? Road trips are sounding more and more attractive. Folks, that's what's last on our list. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Tomorrow on the list, all the best deals coming in June.
Stuff like tools, stuff like grills, anything for around the house.
And there's nothing fishy about this plant-based protein.
6 to 7 out of 10 would prefer the plant-based tuna over the real tuna.
Plus, how to lead a life of happiness and purpose.
When you follow your heart and your passion, and you start to create a life you want, it's healing. You feel like a new person.
That's tomorrow, here on The List.